Conservative Republican U.S. Senate nominee Roy Moore is accusing the LGBTQ+ community of fabricating the allegations against him in regards to sexual assault and sexual misconduct.
When I say they, who are they? They're liberals. They don't want conservative values. They're the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender who want to change our culture. They're socialists who want to change our way of life.
That's right.
Putting man above God. Yes. And the government is our God. They're the Washington establishment.
Mind blowing. So, first of all, let's talk about who is Roy Moore. Roy Moore was once the Alabama Supreme Court Chief Justice twice. I'm sorry, it was twice. And then he was also the former Alabama state judge. This is someone who has been accused recently by 9 women of sexual assault, and 3 of them, they were assaulted when they were 14, and Roy Moore was 32. In studio with me is Brooke Thomas. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, welcome back. When I saw this video, Brooke, so many infuriating things went through my head.
Right.
And I mean, obviously, him accusing the LGBTQ+ community of creating this fabricated story that he didn't do this, which is like, why would you? Yeah, we'll talk about it. What did you think?
I think just what comes to mind, those words, yes. Not even specifically saying, accusing them of doing this or who did it, but speaking about an entire group of human beings like they're villains, like they're evil. And it comes down to, and I think this is a valid concern of a lot of people, do they deserve to be protected when it comes to elected officials and people in charge of their laws and in charge of their community and in charge of their life? Do these people deserve to be protected? And when someone speaks about an entire group of human beings like that, would you feel comfortable with them being a senator?
Right.
And is that fair? Is that, the words are hard to come, but saying they want to change the culture, as a Black woman in 2017, our culture needs to be changed. Absolutely. In a lot of ways. Our culture is the problem. It's not something that we should be holding on to for a lot of people who are marginalized in this country. So changing the culture, that's actually not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all.
Something that should be celebrated.
I echo that.
It has nothing to do with these accusations.
Right, it's again deflection from the accusation. Roy Moore is someone who has historically, Brooke, been anti-LGBTQ for the longest time. I mean, he refuses to recognize that that same-sex marriages are constitutional, right. Which is really weird because this is someone who has pledged his life to uphold the Constitution as a judge. So it's purely hypocritical. And also, this is someone who back in 1996 was removed from a case because he didn't allow a same-sex couple to have visitation rights with their child. Roy Moore, to me, ladies and gentlemen,
was it a woman had an affair with another woman,
exactly.
And so he said because of that she didn't deserve to be around the child and she could not see the child without
supervision,
wife or girlfriend. Right.
Like mind blowing to me. Roy Moore, and forgive me for saying this, but this is a straight up monster and a straight up person who needs to be dealt with. Jimmy Kimmel had sent someone down to the church. So this all took place in Theodore, Alabama at Magnolia Springs Baptist Church. So there was a congregation, of course, down south. Religion's a huge thing. Religion's a huge thing across the country, but people really take to religion down south, I feel. And they had hecklers in the audience.
He dressed the writer up as a Moore supporter.
Right.
Did the shirt say "Gimme more"?
It said the shirt said "Gimme more," and then also the heckler, who Jimmy Kimmel employs, stood up and defended the Alabama Republican, yelling, "The judge is a man's man. Does this look like the face of a molester?" Just to be polemic and just to cause a ruckus. And he, of course, was removed.
Right.
But
it's interesting that he got removed. Because it was too outlandish even for, I guess, supporter standards.
Yeah, but so there was a tweet from Dan Gallo at Dan Gallo. He says, the heckler has been removed from this service. The pastor takes to the podium for a few moments and says, now that the plant is gone, he's got the IQ of 1. Then he says the next person who disturbs the service will be turned over to the police. First of all, I commend Jimmy Kimmel.
For what?
For obviously not subscribing to what Roy Moore has to say. Here's what I want to touch on though, and here's why I get really upset. Is because, marginalized people, we fight so hard, and I'm talking about marginalized people are women, women of color, the LGBTQ+ community, people who are not privileged. They fight so hard for so little, and then you have someone that goes and says, "Hey, I'm accused of these heinous crimes, but it's a lie because these people who are there's such awesome people within those communities are making these stories up." I am a black gay male. I'm daily, I wouldn't say daily, but more times than not, I am judged. That's allegedly 2 strikes against me.
For sure.
So it just blows my mind that this person who seemingly is smart. I mean, I would gather that Roy Moore is not an unintelligent individual. Would even take to that road to say that yes, that these people are accusing me because they're part of the gay mafia or the homosexual predator. In addition to the allegations, that's what really sat and didn't sit well with me, I guess. I don't know. It's crazy. And then
I think something we have to remember: people fighting for equal treatment, fair treatment. It's never an attempt to shut others down, or people who are already being treated fairly to shut that down. It's just looking for a seat at the same table.
Right. Well, Thursday, Roy Moore, after the whole Jimmy Kimmel incident after church, Roy tweeted at Jimmy Kimmel saying, you know, hey, listen, if you want to meet man to man, let's talk about this. Let's confront each other man to man. Come on down to Alabama and we can do this. And Jimmy Kimmel accepted the invitation, and he said, the quote was amazing. He says he will attend, but P.S. I'm leaving my 12-year-old daughter at home. Boom, clap back. Leave it to Jimmy Kimmel to handle business well.
Yeah.
Well, but where do you guys land on this? It's really hard to talk about. I know there's a lot to cover. I advise you to look at the video of Roy Moore and let us know in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.